Hello, today I plan to compare the difference between a 2024 Kia EV9 and a 2023 Tesla Model S. And when I'm talking about comparing, I'm going to take them both for test drives and show the difference between Tesla's full self-driving running the very latest FSD 12.5.4.1 with vision-based monitoring and the Kia lane assist that can be used when driving a Kia. I'm first going to take the Kia. This is my wife's vehicle. She really likes it. It is a nice ride. Anyway, I'll put the seatbelt on and we can take this thing for a drive and test out the lane assist. This does not have an internal camera like the Tesla. The charge door's open, so we'll close that. Put it into gear, and we'll go. Now, if you notice, I'm not sure if you can see on the screen, 700 feet, turn right this has a heads-up display, and you can see the road, and shows you your current speed. It's kind of hard to see. I can't see it in the camera.
Turn right onto Highland Road.
But to set the lane assist, there's two buttons on your steering wheel. I'll stop here so I'm not distracted. The first, this button here sets your speed, kind of like cruise control, and then this button here is your lane assist. It will not drive you from point A to point B. It basically just does lane assist. Like if I just try to hit the button on the dash, the light will go green when it will do lane assist.
Jackson Drive.
So we gotta get out of town here a little ways.
In 0.4 miles, turn left onto Cedar Creek Road. In a quarter mile, turn left onto Cedar Creek Road.
So now you see you got a green light. So basically it will hold the steering wheel in place. Hold this back. And now you see it's got a car with two lanes on it, and then the steering wheel showing it's basically taking control. So it's holding the steering. Now, I don't like using this that much just in town because it will hold it here, but it's not very reliable or not very accurate. And you're technically supposed to keep your hand on the steering wheel, which I usually do because I don't trust it. And if you don't, it'll start flashing on the screen here, which we'll see if it'll do it, saying pay attention or put your hand on the steering wheel. So let's see if it comes up here. It usually takes a minute or so. But you can see there is no lines on the highway, just the center line, and it is keeping it in the lane, which can be nice. Sometimes for me, it's a pain to use because you're trying to drive and your steering wheel fights against you. I don't drive this as much, so I don't know if there's a way. I think when you hit the buttons, you can't turn it off. I'm kind of surprised the little notice to tell me to keep my hands on the wheel hasn't popped up yet. But I'm coming to a stop sign here, so I'll come to a stop. I'll see, oh, there it goes. Keep your hands on the steering wheel. So I gotta nudge it a little bit, and then I'm fine. So I'm just gonna go straight. And once I get going here, you'll see it. The one light came back on, and the other light probably will come back on too. But again, you definitely do not. This is just lane assist. It's not even self-driving. Not very trustworthy. And the best cases you can use this, which I will do when I get up on the highway, is out on the highway, taking it for a drive on the highway. That's really the best time that you can use the lane assist, and it helps make it a little bit convenient for driving, not so tiring. Otherwise, it's mainly just a benefit to help keep you in your lane. There, now the light came back on, and I'm coming up to a roundabout here. Let's see what it does when you get to a roundabout. So it's turning. I have never done this in a roundabout in this car. But, of course, it's not going to turn. So it will not even go around a roundabout. I'll get going here. The one nice thing about the lane assist and cruise control is you can set your speed. So I can set the speed, and you can choose the distance that you want for the car in front of you, and it'll hold. Let's see, I gotta put the steering wheel back there. Now it's using the cruise, keeping the speed, and it's keeping the lane. So primarily if you have your center lane and then your side marker, it will pretty much keep it in the lane. You keep your hand on the steering wheel, and it does make it convenient. You can just watch your road, drive, and you're not really driving, but the car is. But again, as soon as you get to any kind of turn, you have to take over control. Now, I'm not doing the gas. I'm still on cruise. I've never tried driving this through a roundabout, so let's see what it does. Will it keep going? Whoa! I disconnected. That took off way too fast. So it does not have any control over your surroundings or speed. Only has a sensor to detect how close the car is in front of you and slow you down so you don't run into them. So now I have to go back, and the steering wheel is engaged again. You see that your little steering wheel and the lane assist light is on. I can set my speed again, and I had to re-enable it. There we go. And basically back. So the only real benefit of this lane assist or self-driving, if you want to call it, is just to use when you're on the highway. It'll keep you in your lane. Oops, I gotta wiggle the steering wheel because it gave me a little message. It'll do your cruise control, but anytime you come to a stop sign, anytime you have to make a turn, you have to take over control. Now this is obviously better than 10 years ago when we just had cruise, but it by no means is any kind of self-driving. And I don't know what the plan is for Kia, but it's mainly just a lane assist. So I'm driving back, and I will take my Tesla and I will show the difference between Kia's lane assist driving and Tesla's full self-driving. And I will let you be the judge as to which is better or not. I just finished driving, demonstrating how my wife's Kia EV9 uses its lane assist software with driving on the highway. Now I'm in my Tesla Model S, and I'm going to demonstrate how FSD works on my Tesla using the latest version, FSD 12.5.4.1. So I got it in gear, I have my destination in, and I'm going to take off. And now I'm just going to activate it. So as you can see, it takes over right away, and I don't have to touch the steering wheel, I don't have to touch the gas pedal. It uses the vision only to monitor, make sure I'm paying attention. It turns the blinker on. As I come up to the stop sign, it's coming to a stop, it sees a car there, make sure that the car is not coming, and it turns all on its own. It will drive by itself, go up to the correct speed. So it's literally driving me to my destination, which I chose the bank. I could not do this with my wife's Kia EV9. Most times it will activate and just keep you in its lane, but it will not come to a stop. It will not proceed on its own. And it's waiting for some cars. There's a truck coming. Everyone's trying to get out of town. All right, here we go. I didn't touch anything. It's driving all by itself. And we're off. It does not need to have lines to follow. It with the latest version 12, the city driving has been fantastic. Now this is a really nice test. It's coming up, and there's a car turning, and it's going right around the car just like anybody else would, which is very cool. So it put the blinker on, coming up to the stoplight behind this truck. Now one that's nice thing you'll see here, it puts a blind spot camera. I can move it around anywhere on my screen. The Kia actually has that as well. It's on the dash. What's kind of nice about the Kia is in the dash, when the right blinker is on, it puts on the right side of the screen. When the left blinker is on, it puts on the left side of the screen. Another thing you'll notice is, after I turn here, I'll explain it. It's making this turn, kind of a tight turn, but it turned just fine. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but you can see the road, and it has the path I'm following. And when cars go by, you see little pictures of the cars, and depending on the size of the car, like here's a big truck coming, you can see it's a bigger semi-truck that is on the picture. Or if it's a truck or a car or a motorcycle, you see a motorcycle there that just went past, it shows a description of the cars. My wife's Kia, I was trying to show it, but it's kind of hard to see in the video. It's got a heads-up display in the windshield, and it'll show other cars, but they're little boxes. It's literally a square box that comes up behind you or it passes, and it's quite comical because it's very primitive, or it's beta-like. I'm assuming in time they will upgrade that, but as of now it just shows boxes as other cars, where this is actually literally showing, you see a person walking. Very descriptive. On the Tesla Model Ys and 3s, it's over on this screen here, and you can expand it and it gives you a really nice view. Where on the S and X, you can see here, it's coming up to the stoplight, you see all these cars, very detailed, but it's very makes it, that's what the car uses to drive. So we just came through a stoplight, it stopped just fine, it took off, it's driving all on its own. I'm not doing anything. I have not touched anything since I left my house. Another thing I want to point out is this has continually got better over the last few years. When they first introduced full self-driving, it would drive on the highway, but when you got up to a stoplight, it would just stop. Whether it was green or red, it would not go through. You could not use it. So it basically made city driving impossible to use the self-driving. It was mostly on the highway that you could use it. Where now, I think it was version 10, they enabled going through the stoplights, and everybody was so excited because, hey, now I can drive through the stoplights. It goes through on its own. And now it drives great. We'll be coming up to a roundabout here. It used to be I'd come up to a roundabout and it would just stop. It would not go through the roundabout. I think it was version 11 where you could go through roundabouts. I don't remember for sure. But, and even then, I know for sure when you did use version 11 and you went through roundabouts, it was very jerky and it didn't work very well. So we're coming up here. You'll see it's going to be very natural. There's a car beside us, so it wanted to go and wait. Now we'll see here. I'm going to actually move into the other lane. It's in this lane now. And pulls right on through. Stays in the correct lane. And now you see it put on the blinker because I need to turn to go to the bank right over there. And it's going to pull us right in. Waiting for the two cars. When we pull in, I'm going to see if I can get it to auto park. Most times it will. Sometimes if it's not just right, it might give me an error saying unavailable at this time, but I'll give it a shot. So it's kind of trying to decide what to do. It's going to pull up here. Now, I'm still not letting it go, but I'm going to stop and you're going to see there's parking spots and there's a car coming, so I'm not going to do it. So I'm just going to pull in. If there wasn't somebody behind me, I would have allowed it to auto park. So you can see clearly that this is self-driving, and it's literally driving me from point A to point B. I will say, I call it from parking lot to parking lot. Once you get in your parking lot, it will sometimes go find a spot to park, and you can use the auto park to back in. But I generally just, once I get to the parking lot, I'll just park myself by the most part. I know that they're working on updates, and I think in the next month or two they will be pushing them out where it actually will take us parking spot to parking spot more reliably. But it clearly shows how light years ahead Tesla is over my wife's Kia EV9 lane assist or self-driving. And I'll even say, I don't think there's any other company out there that comes close to how good the Tesla self-driving is. I know that they have Waymos out in California and Arizona, and they are actually self-driving. But the really big difference there is those are on a predefined route. They only can go on certain roads, certain mapped areas. And if you take a Waymo for a ride, it drops you off at a block and you have to walk the rest of the way. You know, it might be a block or two. It's not that far. It's kind of like a bus route. You can't put a destination in and tell you to take it there. It's only on predefined locations. Where FSD and Tesla, you can use anywhere. You put your destination in, it will take you there. It still has some polishing to do, obviously, but it is a million times better. Maybe that's an extreme, but 1,000 times better than any other self-driving. And the 3 years that I've been driving it, I've really seen a huge improvement, and I am super excited for the future with autonomy. And there was a time when I was driving it and I kept wondering, man, I don't know if this is going to do it. I don't know if it's going to get any better. But I fully believe it now, just how well it can take me from point A to point B. I let it drive me 99% of the time. So anyway, that's a comparison between my Tesla Model S, or any Tesla that has FSD, and my wife's Kia EV9.